Hey, and welcome back to Slick Willy Fly. So today we're going to do a bonus video. Hope you have your cocktail. So I've been making a bunch of redfish flies, or inshore mangrove flies. I made a bunch of these really awesome micro roaches, and I decided to make another roach, another micro roach, but this time I'm going to make it in a different color, which I think is a really awesome color. We're going to do a little bit in the yellows. So I'm going to go ahead and put some 100 denier on my hook, same as we've done earlier. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of pearl crystal flash, same as before. Two strands is plenty. I got three, but I used the third, as you know, a little bit later on. So I'm going to fold right at the midpoint. And then I'm going to fold again right at the midpoint. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on the hook. Now, this particular fly is a little bit different than the Micro Roach that I released earlier, published earlier, because that one was on a size 2 hook, and this one is on a size 4 saltwater hook, going even smaller. And this fly, every now and then when you're fishing in, like, for example, Chokoloskee, you can get into a spot where you'll find baby tarpon, a ton of small snook. You know, those fish are a lot of fun to catch. Oh, I'm going to do just less than the hook shank here. Those fish are a lot of fun to catch. Sometimes that's the only thing you find. And, you know, you can't really chase them on a 2-0 hook. So you gotta have, occasionally, you have to have some smaller hooks in the box. So that's what this is. And I'll tie this size in the more traditional Micro Roach colors, but this is a size 2. So I pre-prepped a couple of yellow grizzly feathers, and we're going to do this exactly the same way we did before. I'm going to do about 1.5 hook shanks, which is about right there. Just gotta take my time, line up these feathers perfectly. Not always super easy to do. And give it a couple of wraps just to make sure we like the placement, which I do. Holding it as tight as I can, I'm locking it in. I'm gonna check it again. Still happy. And now I can take off the tag. So just like I explained on my other fly, here's the cape. So I took from both sides of this cape because they'll match in size, but they'll have the reverse bend to them, the reverse curvature. I'm just matching them up. The length is already established. Couple of soft wraps so I can adjust it. The length is good, everything looks good, so I'm gonna lock it in hard. Nice. All right. So I got a little flash in there. I got my feathers in there. And now what I'm gonna do, this is pretty cool. I've got this deer body hair that I picked up. It's yellow, it's called yellow, but it's got this like brown tan color to it that I think just looks really cool. Really, really happy with this. So I'm gonna get a little clump. And I'm going to take off all the little short hairs. I'm actually considering putting this in the stacker because these tips are not very well lined up. I'm going to go ahead and get my stacker out. Somehow created a little bit of static cling to myself here. So I don't know if any of you have ever used a stacker before, but it's simple. You just got to get your hair in the stacker. If you don't get it all in, it's not the end of the world. But get your hair into the stacker. And then you, just like the name says, you stack it. And what this does, you're going to carefully, you got to think about what hand you want to use. What this does is it aligns your tips. First thing I always do is I remove the broken tips. So now my tips are aligned. If you got anything wild in there, you can just take it away. Alright, so now I'm going to go to the hook. So the length that I want is about 1/4 of an inch beyond the bend of the hook. I'm going to give this a couple of loose wraps. And then I'm going to work the hair around the body, around the shank, trying my best to distribute this kind of evenly. And once I feel like I've distributed it, like I do there, I'm going to go ahead and pinch it again, and then I pull tight and lock it in. And that actually looks really good. So now what I'm going to do, just to make sure nothing weird happens, I'm going to go ahead and put a little whip finish in. I'm going to get my thread out of the way. I'm going to come in with some nice scissors. If I find my nice scissors. That's strange. Oh, there they are. And I'm going to trim away all of these tag hairs, trying to leave the long guard hairs in place. So I'm going to cut nice and careful. Of course, I never want to risk cutting my thread. Beautiful. So today is the official week 1 of the NFL. And I have not been watching a whole lot of NFL lately, but for some reason I'm in the mood today. So I think a little bit later today, because there's a many hour time zone difference for me here in Sweden, but I think I'm gonna watch a little NFL today. So that looks awesome. So now what am I gonna do? Well, the only thing left to do is to make this head and make any additional little flash that I might want to put on. So I think I have this one piece of pearl, but I think I might want to put on a little bit of gold crystal flash. And maybe I don't have it out. Easy enough to find. I think one strand is plenty. I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to fold it in half again. So now I'm going to go ahead and wrap it on my line and place that right on top of this hook. Nice. Open up these loops. Nice. Oh, that looks really good. So now I have to decide what color do we want to make the head. Do I want to go ahead and give this a red hotspot like all my other Micro Roaches, or do maybe want to use tan, or I don't know, decisions. You know, I don't know if the red is looking like gills or if the red is looking like a wounded fish. But either way, it would be red. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and go to my red thread, which I have ready anyway. You know, this particular fly, I will tie this fly in black, obviously in the natural color that you saw in my previous video, but I will do this more in nearly all white. I think the all white with silver flash and pearl flash looks really good. So now only thing I'm doing now is I'm getting different angles just to make sure that I've covered the white thread fairly well. So now I'm just going to give this a whip finish, and then we need to put some eyes on this fly. I am going to get a red Sharpie and just make sure that everything that's supposed to be red is red. I like that. Okay, so now the decision. Do I put a silver eye? Do I put a yellow eye? Do I put a little bit smaller red eye? Definitely not putting the red eye. You won't see it with the red thread. I have yellow eyes. I have so many choices. I think you're the winner. The brand new package here, 5/16. Well, so I'm back. I didn't realize it, but as I was getting ready to make the head on this fly, my camera shut off. I had little technical difficulties. So you didn't get to see when I made the head on this fly. But this is the finished product, and I did make the head on the previous fly. I didn't do a weed guard on this one, but I think it looks great. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you hit the like and subscribe, and we'll see you on future videos. And now I'm gonna go watch the Eagles and the Patriots, because I don't get a lot of choices in Sweden as to what game I get to watch. That's the game they're about to show, so I'm gonna go watch a little NFL. Hope you're having a great Sunday like I am, and see you on the next video.